Alright, let's finish off your character here. I know we left off about 80% complete. Just a few more things that we need to have you add in here. Your core stat sheet is, I believe, is pretty much done. You have all your stats typed in. Your proficiencies for your paladin class are added on. Hit points are calculated. Speeds in here. The only thing we need to get is the armor class, and that'll be in this armor tab here. I went ahead and added in experience for next level, just so you know that you need 300 points to hit level 2. Your hit die are right, well, even though that's automatically calculated, there's no real way to mess that up. So moving on to skills, these are all correct. I did double check, but I know that you did them correctly the first time. So next here is your background. The thing that you need to add in here is your certain alignment. Let me go on to here really quick. There is a nice tutorial walkthrough description, whatever you want to call it, of alignments, yeah, on Wikipedia. So basically, you can come down to the alignments here. There was a couple that really stood out to me for your character, taking a look at your personality traits, flaws, bonds, and ideals, whatnot. Um, but lawful good and chaotic good looked pretty good for you. You can read through here. Basically, lawful good is acts with compassion and always with honor and sense of duty. Duty. So, anyways, basically, you're a paladin. You're going to be a good alignment. Um, Same thing down here that that you're always looking out for others. That's kind of one of your you you protect people who can't protect themselves. You're always ready to lend a hand. So chaotic good or chaotic good or lawful good look pretty good for your alignment. So just go through and pick one of those. You could also see that each alignment gives a popular explanation of who would be considered lawful good. So Indiana Jones would be lawful good. Robin Hood would be chaotic good. So yeah, go ahead and just pick one of these two. You can pick neutral good. It doesn't really fit your personality traits too well, but I did read through all these, and those lawful good or chaotic good look pretty much who your character is that you made them out to be. So the next thing that you need to go down into here is type in your proficiencies for your armor, weapons, and tools. Here I have Thorol Underfoe, which is the paladin that Sean's been playing in the Summoner campaign. This is his character sheet, so it's going to differ a little bit from yours because the race is different and their background is different. So onto this screen here, you can see your armor proficiencies right here, your weapon and your tool. Um, Let me do this really quick so it's a little easier to see both. No, maybe not. There we go. And okay, apparently that's way up there. Let me get rid of this. Maybe. Oh, fun. There we go. Had to just kick it a little bit. Alright, so let me resize this. It's being really annoying today. Okay, so um, down to here, you would type in your armor proficiencies. So I'm going to pretend like this is your sheet. Yours may be different depending on the different choices that you made with your character and the race change or the race differences. So here under armor proficiencies, you would type in light, armor. Oh my goodness, I can't type. Medium, armor, whatever, and heavy, armor, and shields. Like I said, this may be different. I can't type today. This may be different from what you have, but I'm just going off of this example here. So the next thing we have are the weapon proficiencies, which I have battle axes, I have hand axes, I have throwing hammers, war hammers, simple weapons, and martial weapons. So type all of those into there. I'll go ahead and get rid of these because they're probably going to be different from yours. For the tool proficiencies, I'm not going to get too much into the tool proficiencies. Go ahead and disregard this for now. If we need it in the middle of gameplay, um, I'll help you out a little bit, but we don't really get into tool proficiencies too much right now. So I believe we already have your languages known, yeah, Common and Draconic. So moving on down the screen, we have our equipment. So let's go into, let's see, class tab you have correct. All you had to do in here is level 1 paladin. Weapons we'll come back to in just a second. Spellbook, you don't have any level 1 spells, so we're done with that tab. Let's go into your inventory. Skip over armor for now. I did change this up a bit, just made it look prettier. Like I said, the artisan's tools we're not going to worry too much about right now. Set of common clothes, that is one thing that you will do have to give a description. I mean, a shovel, we know what that is. Iron pot, we know what that is. But do go ahead and put in a little description of what your common clothes look like. A good example of why I ask this is Sean's character he created has a love note or a love letter, and I asked him to write who the love note is from and then what the letter says. The reason being is, let's say somebody pickpockets you, whether it be a friendly person or a foe. So someone in our party makes a rogue or whatever and decides to rummage through your bag and he pulls out your clothes. I need to know what they look like Sean's love letter. If someone pickpockets them and finds the love letter, I need to know what it says. So just a little brief description of what the clothes look like. So going on to here, the rest of your equipment, you get a martial weapon and a shield or 2 martial weapons. So onto the PDF file here, I'll go ahead and scroll down slowly. So if you want to pause the video in case you don't want to pull up the video or the PDF for this, you can choose what weapons you want. Very slowly scrolling down. Pause the video if you want. Okay, so back to here. We get to choose 1 martial weapon and a shield or 2 martial weapons. So let's go to martial weapons. That is these weapons underneath where it says martial. So you get to pick 2 of any of these or 1 in a shield. Like I said, this may be different from yours. I'm just explaining how my example is. Yours may be different. So I'll decide to go with the shield and 1 martial weapon. So I would go into your weapons. And one thing I'll explain really quick is every melee weapon is listed here and every ranged weapon is listed here. Every melee weapon is based off of strength unless it has the finesse property, which I'll get to in just a second. And every ranged weapon goes off of your dexterity stat, unless it says otherwise. I haven't seen a ranged weapon that doesn't go off your dexterity quite yet. That might be something that the 5th edition adds later on, but as of now, they're just all dexterity. So martial weapon and a shield. So for a martial weapon, I will choose. Oh my god, I can't talk. I will choose. Let's just go with a longsword. You could also go off of. Where is it? This screen here. It kind of like picks them for you. So this went off of having a long sword and the javelin. And let's go ahead and just choose those here. So it's easy to go off of this screen here because it kind of already gives you some of the stats. So we chose the longsword. Oops. Up here, long sword. And then here you can see that it is slashing for the damage type. So slashing. And then it is 1d8 damage. Don't worry about this +5. It adds your strength modifier on there. Which your strength modifier would be the 5 also, since you have the similar strength of Thorol. So let's go back to weapons. So you have a 1d8 damage, and then you type that 1d8 over to here also. So you can see that +5 is already added on here, and the +7 to hit is this +7 here. That's based off of your, I believe it's strength. Let me check really quick. Yes, it's all based off of your strength. So what that means is when you roll your attack roll, when you hit this button, it rolls a 20-sided dice, and it adds 7 to that. So let me go ahead and do that really quick here for you. Do that and do that. So you rolled a 15 on a 20-sided dice, but it added your +7 onto it, so you rolled a 22 versus your opponent's armor class. So if your opponent's armor class was lower than that, you would hit, and then you would hit for the 6 damage, which is a 1d8 plus a 5. So on here, you rolled a 1, and that added your plus 5 for 6 points of damage. So that's what these numbers are, just in case you're wondering. So the next thing I had on here was a javelin, which is a ranged weapon. So we'll type in javelin, and that is a 1d6, 1d6, 1d6. And I have a plus 5 on my dexterity because I just have a little bit higher dexterity on this character. Looks like yours is only a plus 2 with a no damage bonus. But let me go back to what this finesse is before I forget. Certain weapons on here, such as the dagger, have this finesse property. Darts also have the same thing. Basically what that does is, let's say you do choose a dagger, or you have a dagger on your current equipment list. Type in dagger. You would just change this to finesse, and what that would do is it would base this hit to hit bonus and damage bonus off of either your strength or your dexterity, whichever is higher. This is more common for rogues who have a lot higher dexterity and not quite that much high of strength. Your strength is going to trump the dexterity in this case, so it's not a big issue, but just in case you do pick something that does have the finesse property, um, like a short sword and scimitar have finesse. So anything that says finesse on it, just go ahead and change this to finesse. So I'm going to get rid of these since these are not your weapons, but get rid of these, get rid of that, and get rid of that. And then these proficiencies you don't have to worry about changing because everything that is picked for you on your app you are automatically proficient in because it only picks items that you are proficient in. So moving on to your equipment list, we have your martial weapon, and I did say that I wanted a shield. You may not have that option. You may, I believe you should. But if you choose the shield, all you do is go into here under your armor screen and type in shield. Shields give you 2 armor class, and there is not a certain armor type, I don't believe. Let me double check that because I'm curious now. Shield would be on page 136. Yeah, shield is not considered light, medium, or heavy. It just gives you a standard armor class of plus 2. So you would just make sure that you have this checked. Unless you're using a two-handed weapon, if you are using a two-handed weapon, uncheck shield unless you decide to switch that. Like if you're like we're playing the session and you're low on health, so you want to switch. Let's say you have a two-handed sword and a one-handed sword, and you're low on health, so you want to give yourself a little boost of armor class. You can tell me, hey, I want to switch over to my one hand and shield. So then you would go to here and check shield then. So that boosts your armor class with armor to 2. So yeah, I'll get rid of this because I don't know what you have. But in case you have a shield, that's what you would do. And moving on. So next we have the 5 javelins. I guess that's important to pick, or important to show you. When I have javelins typed in here, so javelin, make sure you type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for ammo. If you have a longbow or crossbow or whatever, you'll usually have 20 ammunition for that. So once again, let me get rid of that. Whatever. -1 ammo, nice. Okay. Chainmail. Obviously, that'll be under my armor. So let me go in here and type in my shield just for fun, just to see how much armor class I would have. And then chainmail. Right? Is that what I said? Chainmail. Okay. So for this, we would have to go back to the PDF file, and once again, you could pause the video here if you want to take a look at this without loading the PDF file. Chainmail here shows that it gives you 16 armor class, and it is considered a heavy armor, which if you go back to your background, you can see, well, I erased it all, but I am proficient in heavy armor. Once again, the app won't give you any weapons or armor that you are not proficient in. So whatever your case may be, just type in your armor class, or the type of armor in your armor class. Once again, this was 16 armor class, so 16, and it is considered a heavy armor. So you can see here that I have a total of 18 armor class. So just type in whatever armor your equipment is listed. So let me get rid of these two again. And just do that. So the next thing that we have here, Priest Pack or Explorers Pack. You could take a look at these if you want. Those are down here. So here's your equipment packs. Explorers Pack is this, and Priest Pack is this. So Priest or Explorers. So you could pick one of these two. These might come in handy. Let me take a look. Better roll mess kit, torches. So yeah, say you are exploring a dungeon and it's real light. You do have 10 torches. You do also come with 10 days of food in here, and some 50 feet of rope in case you need to do some climbing or tie somebody up. Priest pack, you get blanket, so if you're in a cold environment, you can have some resistance to cold. Some candles, a tinder box to light a fire. Not sure what that is, but some incense, rations, and some water. So yeah, just pick out one of these two that you want. You could just type in, let's say we go with the Explorers pack. So in your inventory, you would just type in Explorers pack, and then you would go into Explorers pack and copy this and type that in there. So just a description of what's all in there. So get rid of that, get rid of that. So moving on. Next thing we have is your holy symbol, rank insignia. I have this because I chose soldier as my background. You may or may not have that. Paladins, you will have a holy symbol, so type in holy symbol. You know, I'm done typing. I'm just going to pull in holy psi. Trophy, you may or may not have. I think that's because of my background. Um, Bone dice or deck of cards, something like that. These gaming sets I won't worry too much about, so don't even worry about that. Common clothes you already have on there, and then the belt pouch which contains your gold pieces. So I believe that's pretty much all the information that we need to finish up on here. So yeah, alignment, you just choose which one you want. Your armor proficiency, weapon proficiencies, and tool proficiencies you need to type in here. You need to choose your weapons. Spellbook, you don't have anything. You have to type in what armor you have, and anything else in your inventory that you may not have already typed in. So that should be pretty much it. If you have any questions, call me, text me, Facebook me, whatever.